In one of our earlier videos, we have seen how to access Key Vault from our local using service principal. And to create service principal, we have utilized a Microsoft Intra ID, and then we have put the credential into .env file, which were there on our local machine. And when we executed this code, we were able to get the secret from the Key Vault, which were there on Azure. Now, this is all good and fine, but what if we have to run something like this in production? In that case, how we are going to handle the credentials which are putting in this .env file? And to solve this specific problem, Azure provides something called Managed Identity. So in this case, our Key Vault and our code both are going to be under Azure. We are going to deploy our code as a container, and then this container would automatically try to access the Key Vault using the Managed Identity, and will try to retrieve the secret from this without maintaining any password or credentials at our end. The Managed Identity is basically of two types. One is system-defined Managed Identity and other is user-defined Managed Identity. Let's see what's the difference between these two. So in system-defined identity, we get one-to-one relationship with the resource. The identity gets deleted if the app gets deleted. So in this case, what would happen if you are having a connection between one Azure resource, which is going to be the app service, and another is going to be the Key Vault, then system would automatically create this identity between them if we go ahead with the system identity. And if we delete this app service resource, then the identity would also be deleted. So this is going to be one-to-one, and this is going to be linked with this specific resource only. Now this approach is going to be very simple because we don't have to create anything as such. Everything is going to get maintained by system itself. So this is going to be best approach for simple and single resources. And this is very fast to set up. We just have to toggle one option on the Azure portal and the identity would be created. Now in the user-defined identity, it's one-to-many relationship. So this user identity is basically we have to create it and then we can link it with n number of the resources. So in this case, this is not maintained by system. This is maintained by a user. Because this is going to be created independently, so even if any of the resources gets deleted, this identity is not going to be deleted. And this is very good where we have n number of resources and we want to scale out. Like we have 100 of VMs trying to access a specific Key Vault, then we do not have to maintain different identity for hundreds of VMs. It can be maintained using one user identity only. It's going to have not much but few additional steps because we have to create the ID first and then we have to get it assigned. So now let's see it in action. We are going to get it started with system identity and we will try to deploy our code on Azure and try to link it with the Key Vault without us maintaining any kind of credentials. Now the first step for that would be our code. So it's the same code which we have used earlier. Only the minor difference over here is instead of using any client secret credentials, we are just passing this default Azure credentials over here, which is going to come from azure.identity. And we will try to deploy this code and see whether it is able to access the password or not. Okay, so because we are planning to deploy this as a container, so first thing what we have to do is create our Docker file. It's a very simple Docker file which we have created over here. So we can create this Docker file. And under this Docker file, we are referring this requirement.txt, which is going to have all our dependencies. So we have just passed these two dependencies in the requirements.txt file here. Now let me go to Azure portal and we are going to get it started from scratch. So first thing what we have to do is create our resource group. So I'm just going to create one resource group first and I can just name it RG Demo 3009. And I can see this particular resource group has been created. Second thing what we have to do is create Key Vaults. So I'm just going to go ahead over here, click on create, and then have to pass certain values for the Key Vault. I can just pass it Demo 3009 in this case as well. This is a days to retain deleted values. I don't want to retain it for a longer period of time. So I will just keep it for 7 days. That's the minimum we can go. So I'm just going ahead with the 7 and I will just go ahead and create this as well. Now this has been created as well. Now what we have to do is we have to update our Key Vault URL. So here, this is the URL of our keywords. I can just take it from here. I can go into my code and I can pass the correct URL in this case. So this is going to be 3009 Vault URL, and same is listed over here. Another thing what we have to create is, as per the code, our secret should be of this name, my secret, and this is what we are trying to access from the Key Vault. So I have to create this secret, and first of all, we are getting this operation is not allowed by RBAC. So we would go to access control and we have to assign a role to ourselves, and I'm just going to assign administrator role to myself. Now if I go to secret, I won't be getting the error, so we are good over here. Now I have to create a secret and I will pass the same name as mentioned in the code. I will just say my secret, and the value what I'm passing is my pass, and I would just go ahead and click on create. So my secret has been created as well. Now because we have to deploy our code as a container, first of all we have to create a container registry, and under this create a resource group, and then we have to pass our registry name. So this is going to be container registry. I can just say cr demo 3009. This is going to be my container registry, and under this I can just go ahead with the basic plan, and I can just go ahead and click on review and create, and we'll click on create. Our container registry has been created. Now actually we have to deploy our code over here. In real world, the deployment is going to happen through pipeline, but here actually we are just trying to demo it. So there is another way to deploy our code through Azure portal, and for that I'm going to use this Cloud Shell. So I'm just going to click on this. Now once the Cloud Shell has been connected, here you can see this option of manage files. I'm just going to click on this upload button, and we just have to upload all our code. So it's not just our Python code. I'm just going to add the Python code, then Docker file which we have created, and then the requirement file, and I will just upload it here. And you can see the 3 files have been uploaded. Now we have to pass a command to generate an image. So this is the command which we are going to pass. So this is Azure, then ACR is our Azure Container Registry. Then we are going to pass build. The registry name is this one, CR demo 3009, which we have created over here. And then what is the image name we want to create? For this one, I just named it vault_demo, and then v1 is the tag which we are passing. And at the last, we just have to pass the dot. Once we pass this command, then we just have to go ahead and hit enter, and then it will try to create an image for us using the Docker file which we have passed it to it. Now here you can see just like how we run everything on Docker. So same thing is happening over here. It has just run over all the steps which we mentioned, install the dependencies which we have passed it to it. And then at the last, it has been created successfully. So you can see the registry name is there. Repository has been created with this particular tag. Now, if you want to check it whether our image has been uploaded or not, so you can go to services. Under this, there is a repositories. Here, just click on this, and you will see, okay, under this repository, your image has been here with this particular tag. It means like this part is also completed. Now this is the image, but just to run our code, we have to deploy as a container. So for that, we are just going to use the container instances, and I'm just going to go ahead and run this as well. I have to pass the container name, so I'm just going to pass 3009, and then this is going to be container. And in this case, we want this container to pull image from the container registry only, which we have created. So I'm just going to click on this, and here you can see like we are getting an error, and it's saying like you need to have an admin user enabled first so that you can pull out the image and the image tag. So for that, I will just go to Azure Container Registry once more. So I will go to my container registry, and here we have to go to access keys, and under this you can see there is a admin user checkbox. So I will just click on this, and now it's saying admin user has been activated. Now if we go to our container instances and we have to refresh it, and we can try to create it again. In this case, same value we can pass once more, and in this case you can see it is able to pick the registry and it is able to pick the images as well. We can just go ahead and click on create. Our deployment has been completed successfully, and we can just go to this particular resource. And if you go to this under this container, then we can see, okay, our container has been created, and as of now, like, it's trying to pull the images and trying to start it. So we have set up everything as per this particular diagram. We have set it up our Key Vault, we have deployed our code under a container registry, and then we have created a container instance, and under this we are going to run our code. Now the important part is, under this code we are trying to access a Key Vault. And to access this Key Vault, we have to pass certain credentials. In this case, we are going to use the Managed Identity. So first of all, we have to enable that access using Managed Identity. So now let's see, okay, how to do that. So the most outer layer is Azure Container Instance. So we just have to enable the identity on this Azure Container Instance only. I will just go to my portal. Under this setting, under the container, you can see this identity option. I'm just going to go over here. And here you can see there are two types of identities, system and user assigned. We haven't created anything specifically as such, and we are just going to rely on system assigned identity on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on, and I will just click on save button. Now this is saying, okay, they are going to enable the system identity for this particular resource, and it has, created that. Now what I need to do, so we do have the system identity assigned on the Azure container. We don't know the user ID, password, and all those things. Now we just have to go to the Key Vault. So here I will just go to Key Vault, and under this Key Vault, I will go to IAM, and I will just click on the add role assignment. Now under this, I just want that container to read the secrets from Azure Key Vault. So I'm just going to give very specific role to it. So this is going to be Key Vault secret user, because this would enable the container to read our secret contents. So I'm just going to enable this. I'm just going to click on next. And then rather than selecting user group or service principal, we have to select this manage identity. And just going to click on select members. And from here, I'm just going to click on this container instance, and you can see, okay, we are getting the option of system assigned managed identity. And this is coming because we have created one system identity under container instance. So I'm just going to click on this, and by default, it is going to give me the container name. I'm just going to go ahead and select it. We click on review and assign, and the role has been added. So we are good. Now we have to go to our container, and we will see whether it is able to access the secret password or not. Just to see that in action, what we have to do is we have to go to containers, and because we have made certain changes, so let me just first restart it. Now I can go to this containers, and under this you can see this logs. It is loading, and sometimes it takes a lot of time. Just to test it out now, I can go to this connect, and I can just click on this connect button under this container, and just like normal Python file, I can just pass python demo.py. We have our Python file, and I just hit on enter, and you can see based on the code what we have passed over here, attempting to fetch secret name, and the secret value is this. Same thing we are getting it over here. It tries to fetch the my secret, and it was able to get the password. On top of that, I just added one line so that this container would be up for a certain point of time. The same line is coming over here in this case also, like container will stay live for 10 minutes for demo purposes. In this case, we have created certain Azure resources, and we were able to access the password without us passing any kind of credentials in between. And that's the magic of managed identity. So whenever we are deploying any kind of Azure resource in production, then we rely on managed identity for the communication rather than we passing like any kind of credentials in between. That's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.